In this video, we're going to take a look at Arctibax with the new fast move, or like the buffed fast move of Ice Fang. This Pokemon is going to be very interesting. This Pokemon is going to have completely different matchups, and today we're going to take a look at some battles here with this Pokemon. We're going to have a little bit more of a classic lineup. We're going to have the Clodsire in the lead. Back in the day, you would use something like a Nidoqueen there. You're going to have the Dugong as a safe swap, which you were using back in the day as well. And you have either another Ice-type or a Dark-type Pokemon in the back. In this case, you're going to have the Arctibax as our Ice-type Pokemon there. We're going to have basically a Pokemon in the lead that's going to be great against Fairy-type Pokemon and Fighting-type Pokemon. And we're going to have a Pokemon in the back here, in terms of here, Arctibax as well as the Dugong, that neither wants to really face, Fairy-type Pokemon or anything like here also, for example, a Steel-type Pokemon would not be great, Fighting-type Pokemon would not be great, so Clodsire plus the Arctibax is basically a perfect core, and definitely something that I enjoyed quite a bit running with this team. It's going to be very interesting here to see as well today on which Pokemon, like which fast move is going to be better, because for example here, we're going to see a scenario where it's worse to have the fast move of Ice Fang, and then we'll see immediately afterwards a scenario where it is better to have the fast move of Ice Fang. Oh no, it's actually neutral. I actually thought it was a Stun Fist, don't get me wrong, I have no idea why, but we can move on to the next one. Talonflame. Talonflame is going to be a bit of a neutral matchup here. We sadly don't have Stone Edge on our Clodsire, but it's all going to be okay. As you will see, the Sludge Bomb getting the shield from the opponent. In comes the Dugong. Dugong is going to now be able to take a hit. There's going to be a Brave Bird that's going to be a bit annoying, but they're going to swap out into the Bibarel. I'm actually okay with the scenario that we had, but Bibarel is going to be basically a core breaker. And here's the thing with this team. What I don't really like about this team is that this team is going to have some difficulties at dealing with water-type Pokemon. You're going to have a lead that's weak to the water types in terms of the defensive typing, and we're going to have two Pokemon in the back that are defensively great against water-type Pokemon, but offensively cannot really hit those. And that's going to be something that's going to be a bit of a trickier one here. As you'll see against the Bibarel, we're actually going to be able to catch a move here. Keeping 2 shields still on our Pokemon at the return is going to still do a lot of damage. In comes the Talonflame from the opponent, and we let the move go through, which maybe was a bit of a mistake here, because now we're gonna have to take those neutral Incinerates, and well, the Arctibax is a very cool Pokemon. It sadly just takes quite a lot of damage here, but luckily we're gonna be able to get the KO on the perfect timing here, allowing us to still have some health against the opponent's Feraligatr, and I'm very certain if I actually decide to use a shield here a little bit early on, maybe I would have had a chance of winning this battle. But as you can see as well, the opponent is going to win this battle while we have still 2 shields and the opponent still has a 1 shield, which is kind of hilarious. But though in this battle, we're going to see on how this lead is going to function quite well against other Fairy-type Pokemon. I decided to stay in for a little bit here against the opponent's Oranguru, because I know that I don't know, like I have a little bit of a tough time with my backline, but not even that much. I don't know why we did this, to be fair. Shows how almost I can directly into my Arctibax. Arctibax is a very solid matchup here. It is kind of neutral, but I feel like I'm kind of really getting used to the Ice Fang yet at this point. Ice Fang is an interesting move because it's kind of doing the same as Dragon Breath does. And so, it's not really going to change too much in terms of the energy generation or anything like this. I think it's the exact same. Here against the opponents are wicked tough. I'm going to wait out because I expect the opponent to stop out afterwards as well, and they do exactly this into the Giraffaric. And we just have to hope now that we're going to be able to deal with this Pokemon with the Pokemon that we have still left here. Trailblaze coming through, we're going to get the Icy Wind off against the opponent, but we just kind of have to hope that both our lead here as well as our Dugong is going to be fine against it. We tried our best. We're going to get another Ice Wind off, which is going to be very important, because now what I will be able to do is I will hopefully be able to just go for a charge move against them, but the opponent makes a great play here by farming me down. And now we're gonna have only the one option to fully farm down the opponent's Giraffaric in order to win the battle, but it doesn't work out, and so we're sadly gonna lose. Even if we would have went for the charge move here on the CMP time, the Wicked Tough would have been enough to basically knock us out, and that was kind of unfortunate loss there for us. Next up, we're going to see here the Diggersby against us, and we're going to see again a very positive matchup again from the Ice Fang variant of Arctibax. And today, of course, this video is just going to show you on how good this Pokemon is going to be without like cutting out any losses or anything like this. You see every single battle that I did with this team here today. We have the Avalanche going to connect against the opponent, which at this point, I guess, would have also knocked them out even if we had Dragon Breath. And so, is Ice Fang better than Dragon Breath? I feel like it really depends on the team, and this is something that I definitely learned with this Pokemon. It is not a clear worse move, but also not a clear better move. And that's something that's quite interesting for this one, because again, there's going to be matchups against especially all those ground type Pokemon we're going to have a great time. There's going to be matchups against flying type Pokemon where you're going to have a great time. But in like neutral scenarios, Dragon Breath is just a little bit of a better move. So basically, unless you're going to really encounter Pokemon that you do super effective damage against with the fast move of Ice Fang, Dragon Breath is going to be the better move to go for. And then if you're going to take a look at the moves basically where the Dragon Breath is going to be resisted against, for example, Fairy type Pokemon, you're still going to lose against Fairy type Pokemon. Nothing going to change here. Then you have Steel type Pokemon, you're still going to lose against Steel type Pokemon. Even Ice Fang is going to be resisted. And that's basically it. And that is not a lot. And that is also showing that the difference is not really there. And so, it is quite an interesting one here. As you can see, we're going to be able to go for an Icy Wind against the opponent here. This is going to be very, very interesting here, especially as you're going to see the attack drop. We will have the shield coming up from ourselves, because I would imagine that we're going to need to basically stay in this matchup for quite a bit of time. We're going to try now to go for another Icy Wind, drop the opponent's attack even further, and then go for the kind of not farm down, but try to get as much energy in as possible. I feel like the shield didn't really make too much sense there as well, but let's see on how this is going to go. The opponent actually decides to stay in here, which is then, again, the shield actually did make sense because the opponent stays in here, and it's going to be great for us. We're going to be able to take the hit here. It's going to be the foul play. Barely does any damage, and now we can go for a drill run even to try to get them into the range where I can knock them out afterwards. To be fair, yeah, drill run was actually okay. Makes it safe. The opponent not going to be able to do anything here, but I get still some nice energy in against the opponent. Basically, perfect amount here as well. So the drill run was actually the ideal play, and we're gonna see the Clodsire coming back in. Having to deal with the Icy Wind here from our Dewgong is going to be not ideal for the opponent. And even here, the drill run, which does more damage than the Icy Wind, is coming through next. As you're gonna expect them to swap out, we're going to have the Greninja in the back. And again here, imagine we had Dragon Breath. Dragon Breath would be very, very good. And now we're going to be having basically an uphill battle, because we don't really know how this is going to end here yet. And so we will have here the opponent going for a charge move very soon. Not worth it for me to use a shield, because otherwise they can fully farm me down, and like, what am I gonna do then? And we're gonna have to rely on Ice Fang on the Arctibax now. We have to let the move go through. This is our only way of really winning this battle. And as you will see here, the opponent is gonna go for another move, and I have to let the move go through again. Now it's coming through, gonna get me low. I can go for another Dragon Claw, but it's not really looking too good for us, is it? At this point, I am kind of forced to use a shield here now, but it is going to be a bit of a trickier one. Nice Dash coming through, we're going to swap out of here. We expected the opponent to swap out, and this worked out super, super well, because now the Search Bomb is coming in, and I can go for the full farm down, but I just don't have the health left, and so the opponent going to be able to win here by just a few HP. But against this Pokemon, for example, Ice Fang would do a lot of damage, but they swap out into the Marowak, and I don't even have to battle them. That's kind of annoying. Great lead here though, Bastion is going to be great, and then we have Annihilate, and then we're going to take a look at our team, and then we slowly but surely realize there's not really a lot that we can do against this Pokemon. But then again, the opponent decides to let the move go through, which makes it way, way easier, because now we can see the Rage Fist coming through, I can go for the Sludge Bomb, this will force either the shield or the KO against the opponent, and we will see the shield coming up, and I can try to catch the move maybe even on... Okay, I'm gonna stay in here for a little bit, but I can maybe try to use a shield here, and I can maybe try to go for a Sludge Bomb then again, but the opponent decides to go, I can definitely misplayed here with the pacing, but I'm going to be able to... Why do they swap out into the Bastion? That doesn't even make sense. Like, none of the sentences I just want to say does make sense now after this very weird swap from the opponent. I will take this hit. The Flamethrower is nowhere near to knock us out at this point, and so I can even overfarm. Overfarm by a little bit more, at least by 2. Like, at least by like 1 more extra, because it's just literally a free fast move there. So this was definitely a mistake by me. Well, let's see here. We're going to go for the full farm now, though. It's going to be fine. Especially... Oh, they're going to have the Wicked Stuff in the back. Is it going to save us here? Is Ice Fang going to save us? Because maybe we put the opponent to a range where, like, we're going to be able to fully farm them down. That would be hilarious. Can we win with Ice Fang Arctibax against the Wicked Stuff? That's my question here. Or are we going to rely on the Clodsire again? Let's find out here. I decided to swap out into the Arctibax. And yes, actually, Ice Fang is going to allow us to have a great matchup here. And spoiler alert, I would have won no matter what. But this doesn't matter. It was still funny. And we can move on to the next opponent. Wigglytuff in the lead again. We're going to see the swap out into the Dunsparce. And what are we going to do here again? Yeah, that's the thing as well. I'm not too happy with this team. I feel like Dragon Breath A would have given us a little bit of better coverage against one-type Pokemon, which I would have been finding a little bit better. But also I feel like the Pokemon in the back here is not really ideal. I would rather have, instead of the Arctibax here for this team, if you want to try this team for yourself, the Pangoro. I feel like Pangoro would make a lot of sense for this team, giving you a little bit of a faster paced Pokemon, which you're kind of lacking because the fastest move that you can get to is, I guess, the Dragon Claw here after 12 turns, which is okay, don't get me wrong, it's an okay move to get to. But with Pangoro, you're going to have after 5 turns, 5 fast moves, 10 turns total, the Close Combat, which does tremendous amounts of damage, or after 4, a Night Slash, which is a great bait move. So I feel like this team would have been maybe a little bit better for the Pangoro. Pangoro, very good Pokemon though, a little bit underrated I feel like, because everybody is focusing on Primeape. But here we will see the matchup against the Wigglytuff. We're going to try our best to go for not the full farm down, we still have to go for another charge move here, but we're hopefully going to be able to get the KO against the opponent. In comes the Diggersby. I try to get some damage onto them. That's the main reason for going for the Earthquake here. I hope that they let the move go through, which they do. Because now my fast move pressure is real. My fast move pressure is coming through. I can use a shield here. No reason to go for a charge move against the Diggersby. Scorching Sands coming through here. And we're going to be able to go for the full farm down against the opponent. Not in time yet. But we're going to see here the opponent goes for another Scorching Sand. It doesn't knock us out. We can go for the full farm down and win that battle. Second to last battle here today. We're going to see the Drifblim against us, Dugong coming in against them as well, and we have the Dunsparce coming in. We're going to try to maybe realign ourselves, but realigning is going to be a bit tricky. Just a hard counter matchup right now. So I decided to let the move go through. I should be able to get another move off against the opponent before I go down because of the debuff here. They can go for the Rock Slide. They're going to get me very low with that one, but I feel like it's still going to be fun. Yeah, exactly. I can still go for another move. Going for the extra free fast move here can be actually really crucial because this will allow us to get the opponent a little bit less energy, but I can use the opportunity here to get some extra energy, and they swap out into the Diggersby, which gives me the opportunity as well to just try to go for the Ice Fang down afterwards, but I should just stay in here for a little bit because at the end of the day, this is the matchup that I need my Clodsire in at this point. I should have actually stayed in for a little bit longer. This was a big mistake by deciding to go ahead and swap out here already. I should have just stayed in with my Clodsire and just played it out because I need this Pokemon healthy. So I actually don't really know what I was doing here. This doesn't make any sense at all. Mostly I just forgot that the Drifblim was existing because I have 2 shields. Why did I not use a shield against the opponent? I would have been able to fully farm down the entire team, and now this game is over. That was silly, that is my mistake. Sorry about this one. I don't know what I did here, but we can move on to the next opponent. This is going to be the Annihilate here in the lead. This is going to be okay for us as well. As we will see here, the opponent is going to be able to go for some nice damage with this Pokemon. Rage is coming through. Going to do some boosted damage here as well afterwards. But we can go for the Earthquake. Earthquake going to put them into a range hopefully soon in order to get the farm down with the Ice Shard. That would be perfect for us. By the way, if you are wondering about when I did those battles were the literally my last 2 sets for the first time where Great League was available this season. I kind of had to pre-produce a little bit because we have Christmas time. Like, you know, Christmas time, having to spend with family. I don't know when you're gonna see actually this video right now as well, but yeah, I try to pre-produce a little bit for the Christmas season right now, just to have a little bit less stress there, have to do a little bit less work, and have the stress before that. That's going to be always great, yeah. Basically, I try to do like a lot more videos than what you see currently on the channel. I might have a lot of them scheduled for the channel members soon though, so if you're a channel member, definitely a lot of content that you're going to have early on already for the Open Great League that you can watch. If you want to be a channel member, by the way, as well, there's going to be the link always down below next to the subscribe button, which doesn't say subscribe if you're already subscribed, so maybe check that one out if you are not subscribed yet and just click on that one. Would really appreciate it. But as you're going to see here for the final battle, Dragon Claw is going to allow us to get the KO against the Dunsparce. It's down to Arctibax against the rest of the world, and we have the hardest counter in the back. While Ice Fang definitely helps here, doing some only single resisted damage. This game is over. And so, yeah, that's going to be it for this video. What is my opinion about Ice Fang ARCTIBAX? I don't think it's better. Dragon Breath is better. It's just a better move to have a 1-turn fast move compared to a 2-turn fast move. Ice is a great offensive typing, but there are too many water type Pokemon. So I feel like this is definitely an interesting Pokemon to have. Like, it's not going to be a complete downgrade, it's more of a side grade. But I feel like Dragon Breath is going to be the better move to go for. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye bye.